What is going on, MELD Nation? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Fareed, and I am more than excited to be breaking the official launch of the MELD testnet with you guys. Now, as a part of this video, I want to briefly run through the email that I received early this morning confirming that the MELD testnet has officially kicked off. If you guys are not a part of the community, you may not know that the MELD testnet was delayed slightly by 2 to 3 days. It was supposed to kick off on January 16th, but it's now kicking off on the 19th. Now, the community has been waiting patiently, and today they have been rewarded. So what I want to do is quickly review this email that I received. Now, once I do that, I'm going to jump over and show you guys what we can actually expect from the testnet. And then I'm going to give you guys a live walkthrough of me creating my wallet, reviewing all of my assets within my wallet. And then after that, we're going to see if we can actually supply and borrow using the MELD protocol. So as it states here, hey there, it's finally here. Prepare to immerse yourself in the much awaited MELD testnet. As we've mentioned in previous emails, a testnet is for testing. There will be bugs and issues of all kinds. Please bear with us as we work hard to fix them all. First, here's your access code followed by my access code. And that's actually why I'm keeping this private, because right now there's only going to be 500 members who have access to this testnet via a one-time use code that's associated with the wallet that they'll be using on the testnet. So this is not going to be like other testnets where you can connect your regular Nami wallet. The MELD team will be providing you with their own wallet. Again, I'm going to show you guys how that works. And the biggest part about this is that it's integrated with Google. So continuing here, please hold on to it as you will need this code each time you access the testnet, so don't lose it. Now, when it comes to operating the testnet itself, don't worry if you've never participated in a testnet before. This process is pretty simple and straightforward as described below. Now, what they've got here is a total of 8 different steps, which I'm going to read out to you guys. Step number 1, head over to testnet.meld.com. Step number 2, enter your access code at the bottom of the screen. Step number 3, click the Create Wallet button. Step number 4, click the Login with Google option. Step number 5, click the Next at the bottom of the page. Step number 6, enter your wallet password and security question. Step number 7, click Next, and success. You've created a wallet and have received some test tokens. And step number 8, last but not least, start testing. So what has caught my attention there is the mention of logging in with Google. I don't know about you guys, but I have been on a few different testnets on Cardano. None of them or any of them have yet to actually integrate with Google. So congratulations to MELD for what they're doing. Again, I know that the past few weeks have been very difficult for the community. There's been a ton of speculation and a ton of FUD being thrown at MELD, but I think that we're going to start to really see that to subside with the official launch of this testnet. Now, another thing that I noticed here is that the faucet process will be extremely simple. So as the actual wallet gets created for you, all of the tokens will be automatically added to your wallet, so you never even have to leave the MELD platform in order to earn your test tokens. Now, if you're wondering what test tokens are we going to get access to, let me show you guys here. We're going to get access to the following. The Husky token, right? The greatest meme coin around. We're going to get access to the Kopi token for their cornucopious metaverse. We're going to get access to IUSD, Bitcoin, the Test ADA, Test MELD, Test C3. We're also going to get the MinSwap token, the Indy token, and the Wing Riders token. So all pretty familiar tokens. And I also want to mention that if you do want to perform swaps, you will be able to do that. However, that's not going to occur within the actual MELD wallet or the MELD app. And so they will be collaborating with Wing Riders as a part of this particular testnet. All right, guys, that's going to knock it out for the intro. I know you guys are probably sick of me talking, so let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. So I'm going to head over to testnet.meld.com. And this is essentially what we've come to expect from the MELD team. Super high quality, super clean. And so let's go ahead and just dive straight into it. I've already got my code copied, and I'm going to make sure that as I'm demoing this, that there's nothing actually behind myself down there at the bottom right-hand corner. But the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and actually type in our testnet access code. So I've got that entered. I'll just type in enter. And as you guys can see, I'm now prompted to create my wallet. Before I do that, if at any point you guys have questions or concerns, right, during the testnet, you can actually click on this button here and get access to a MELD member for support. Now, I did get access to this testnet just a few days early as an ambassador, and I did actually test that this actually works. It was about 2 or 3 in the morning, and I actually asked them a question and somebody responded. So make sure to use it sparingly, but if you guys have any questions or concerns or even bugs or issues, then go ahead and report them using this feature down there at the bottom left-hand corner. All right, now that I've got my passcode entered, I can create my wallet. So I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna go ahead and click on Allow Device. I've got the nice MELD terms of service here, which I'm going to confirm that I've read. And then this is it. We can log in with Google. So now I'm going to click on this. And what you guys are going to notice is that I can now use my Google official account to connect to meld.com. So I'm going to go ahead and select my account. And as you guys can see, it's going to take a second to load. And we are now connected with my Gmail account. I'm going to click on next to continue. And this is the automated process that I was talking about. So as you guys can see there, it literally took about 2 to 3 seconds to create my wallet, encrypt it all on the Cardano network. I'm going to go ahead and continue, click on next. And this is where I can enter my username, or excuse me, my password and security questions. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my password. Now there are restrictions here. I believe you need to have 1 uppercase letter, some kind of numeric value, and then some kind of special character as well. So I'm going to go ahead and re-enter my password. And I'm going to go ahead and select my security questions and answers. I'm going to go ahead and click on next. And as you guys can see there, my wallet has successfully been encrypted. So no time or at no point during that entire process did I have to write down my 24-word seed phrase, which is now so commonplace within the crypto ecosystem. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and visit my wallet. And boom, again, just the super high quality, sleek UI that we've come to expect and know from MELD. And so as we can see here, it says, congratulations, you now have your wallet ready. Buy crypto to activate your wallet. And that is it. So I'm going to remove myself there from the frame just for a little bit, just to kind of give you guys the full frame feel here. And I'm just going to click anywhere outside of that, and that's going to go away. And what you're going to notice is by default, they give me a arbitrary amount of the USD tokens, or excuse me, of the test tokens. So I've got about, let's see, is that 19,000 of the test ADA, 4,000 of the test 3 or the Charlie 3 test token. I've also got some test copy, test Hosky, test MELD, and everything else that I mentioned prior to actually jumping in this particular app. As we can see, my total balance currently sits at about $19,000. And I can see the total amount of assets, or the total amount of tokens that I have. Now this number does look quite lengthy, but keep in mind that that's because I have a ton of the Hosky token. So what we now have here right below that is the asset section. Again, that's what I'm currently viewing, which is all of my tokens here. Now there's also an NFT section, which looks like it is under work right now. And so again, keep in mind, guys, that this is a minimum viable product or an MVP. As this begins to age and grow, I would assume that we'll get more additional features accessible for us in the community. Now, if I go ahead and select ADA, you guys will then go ahead and actually see that it shows the T ADA here at the very top. I can see the value of ADA, and I can see the total amount of ADA that I actually hold in terms of value USD. So as you guys can see right now, I hold about 6,590 of the test ADA tokens in my wallet. If I want to see the transactions, I can go and actually click on transactions. And what you guys will notice is on the right-hand side, just like we saw in their design diaries, we now have my recent transactions. So as we can see here on January 19th, which is just today, I received this 18,000 test ADA. Now, as I mentioned before, I did have some other transactions kind of spanning a few days back. And so as you guys can see here, I have an additional transaction which actually left my wallet. So I spent 2.5 of the test ADA. And then right below that was another transaction which I received 1,500 of the test ADA tokens. I'm going to bring myself back on the screen now. And what I'm going to do is just kind of highlight some of the other tokens here. So if I select C3, you'll notice that the background upgrades, all of the tokens upgrade. Now, one thing that I did notice is that the transactions did not automatically upgrade. So if I close this and I click on transactions here, then you will notice that I can now see my C3 transactions. And so this is exactly what the MELD team is looking for us in the community to report to them as testers of their testnet. So I'm going to quickly highlight some of these other tokens here. We've now got the copy token. I'm going to close this out. And if I want to send or receive, I can go ahead and actually use these two arrows. Now, one thing that I personally would recommend would be some kind of tooltips or some hover over tooltips that essentially give us what this actual function is once I hover over it. Now, if I click on this here, you're going to see the screen that allows me to send my token. So I've got about 2,000, or is that 24,000? It's a little hard for me to read that. I think it's about 24,000 of the copy tokens, but I can first select what token I actually want to send. So from here, I can type in MELD if I want to. Looks like that may not be fully functional just yet, but if I go ahead and actually scroll down, I can select any token that I want to send from within my wallet. So I'm going to stick with test copy, and let's say that I actually want to send 1,000 of that. I can go ahead and do that. And you'll notice that as soon as I did that, this percentage here at the bottom has updated to show how much of my total copy balance I am going to be sending. So in this instance, since I have 24,000, if I'm sending 1,000, that comes out to about 4% of the total amount of copy that I own. Now I can also select what blockchain I want to actually complete this transaction on. So right now, it is selected as Cardano, but as many of you within the community may or may not know, MELD will be going multi-chain. And so what exactly does that mean? That means that we'll start to see additional blockchains here listed as a part of this actual dropdown. That includes the Avalanche network. That also includes the Polygon network and many more EVM side chains that the MELD team will be integrating with as well. Now, what I can also do is actually provide the testnet address, right? So I've already got a testnet address here from a previous day. And I'm just gonna go ahead and select that. And I can see the total amount of time that it's gonna take for me to actually send this transaction, how much test ADA it's gonna cost me, which in this case is just 0.2. And then I can just quickly go ahead and confirm. And then I can just again view the transaction. I'm sending 1,000 of the test copy tokens with a slight transaction fee of 0.2 ADA. And then I'm gonna go ahead and click on send. As you guys can see there, because everything is already integrated within this wallet, I did not actually have to sign like I normally would within a Nami, Yoroi, or Eternal wallet, because again, it's all integrated within the actual MELD app. Now, if I want to see all of the details about this particular transaction, I can actually go ahead and click on see transaction details. Now, I just completed this transaction, so I'm not sure if it's already going to be on the blockchain, but this should open up in a brand new tab for me to verify. And as we can see here, it actually is already available. So it's not fully verified yet, right? It's still taking a little bit of time, but I can go ahead and see and verify all of the information about that particular transaction. So if I jump back over into the MELD app, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. We've now kind of walked through the actual wallet itself. The next thing I want to do is highlight the supply and borrowing features. So as soon as I navigate over to supply and borrow, you'll notice that on the left-hand side, I've got the total amount of tokens that I'm supplying. Since I just created this wallet, it's currently empty. Next to that, I can see what I have available to supply, right? So these are going to be the tokens that I can actually go ahead and supply to the MELD protocol in order to earn some passive income. Now, these yield rates will be variable, right? And that's going to depend basically on the supply and demand of a given asset at any time. So keep that in mind. This is not going to be some kind of fixed earning But again, this is available if you are looking to make some passive income while also understanding that there are some risks within DeFi. Now on the right hand side, I'm going to go ahead and get myself out of the way again. What you're going to notice is that I can see what I'm currently borrowing. And then if I click to the right, what is actually available for borrowing. So this is going to be part of a shared pool in which if I am looking to borrow against my assets, I can go ahead and actually pull from any of these pools. And so let's quickly walk through one of each example. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and actually supply to the MELD protocol. So right now, as you guys can see, I have 19,500 of the Testnet tokens. And I believe this is going to be the yield rate that I can actually go ahead and earn. But we're going to confirm that here in just a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and click on supply. And as you guys can see on the right hand side, again, I've got my transaction details. I can see exactly what I'm supplying. Again, I can change that here at a glance. I'm going to keep that as Testnet for now. I can actually go ahead and use this slider again to change the total amount of supply. But let me just go ahead and just stick with a pretty round number. So let's just do 5,000. At the bottom right hand corner, you guys see here, the confirm button has now enabled. Again, I'm supplying 5,000 of the Testnet tokens, and I'm just going to go ahead and confirm. And boom, simple as pie. So I can now see again my transaction details if I want to on Cardano Scan or the Cardano Explorer. I can now confirm as well that I've supplied 5,000 of the Testnet tokens. Now, while this process is actually confirming on the Cardano network, let's go ahead and actually borrow some tokens as well. So I'm going to close this out. And I'm going to, again, show you guys that I'm not currently borrowing anything. And I'm going to go ahead and click on what's available to borrow. And let's actually go ahead and borrow some of the TestIUSD tokens. So I currently hold 1,300 of them. And what I'm going to do is borrow probably an additional 1,000 or so. So let me go ahead and click on borrow. And again, I'm just going to type in how much I want to borrow, which in this case is going to be 1,000. Again, it shows that this is about 6% of the total borrow limit that I have on my account right now. And again, if I just kind of slide this up and down, it shows me the maximum I can borrow. I'm pretty sure that you guys kind of understand that there. So let me go ahead and set this back to 1,000. I'm going to click on confirm. Again, I can just quickly confirm that I'm going to be borrowing. And I can just confirm again, and simple as pie, you guys. The fact that I don't have to always sign for transactions makes this really, really awesome. I am a big fan of this. Let me bring myself back up. So we've done 2 transactions. We have gone through the supply process, and we've also gone through the borrow process. So now let's jump back and focus on the first transaction that I did, which was the supply. So if I jump over into supply now, you can quickly see my Testnet, right, which I supplied 5,000 of it. If I click on it again, I can see the variable yield rate. So this is how much I'm going to be earning on this Testnet that I'm supplying. I can see the total pooled supply, right? So there's a total of, I believe, about 140. That's a huge number. I think that's 1.4 billion, or is that 1.4 million? I'm not sure, but you guys can see there, it's quite a bit of the Testnet token. We can see the utilization rate currently sits at about 9.83% of the total pool. So 903K out of this 14,000K total pool supply. Now, what I want to do is jump back into borrowing now as well. It looks like that transaction may still be processing, but I would normally expect to see that 1,000 USD. Now, if I want to pay this back or withdraw, the 5,000 ADA, I can actually go ahead and click on withdraw here. Again, I can confirm using the slider, and I could go ahead and confirm down there at the very bottom. Oh, there we go. So I can now see my TestIUSD that I just borrowed against. And similarly, if I want to repay this, I can click on the repay button here, and then I can use this slider and confirm that I want to repay my loan. In closing, that is going to really be it, guys. Again, this is just a simple walkthrough of the MELD app on the Cardano preview or the pre-prod testnet. I'll have to double check exactly which testnet this is. That is it in a nutshell. We walked through the process of creating our wallet using our Google Authenticator. We also reviewed the actual wallet layout. And then we also took a little bit of time to walk through the supply and borrowing features. Again, guys, this was a work in progress for quite a bit of time. And so I know that the community is excited, and I am also extremely excited for all of this hard work. So congratulations to the MELD team. If you guys want to find out more about what they're building on Cardano, then make sure to head over to meld.com. If you guys want to get in touch with our community, head over to Discord. They're also readily available for questions on Telegram. And having said that, you guys, if you guys found this to be helpful, I would really appreciate it if you guys could tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by the Dapp Central YouTube channel, consider subscribing. It really does go a long way because I am a single content creator. And if you guys have any questions for myself about the testnet or MELD in general, or just anything personal, then make sure to leave a comment down below. I will see you guys in the next video.